everyone, it's Friday, March 17th, 2017, and this is ETV Magazine. Hope that you all are enjoying the new activity schedule for ETV. Our first story revolves around a story that we covered last year around this time, the building of the new hotel and aquatic center in Goddard. The groundbreaking ceremony was just over a year ago, and during the ceremony, we here at ETV were told that the construction for the complex would be completed by April 1st of this year. As many of us know, though, the construction for the complex will not be complete by that date. So we here at ETV did some investigation to find out why the construction is at a standstill right now. ETV Magazine reporter Jack Beardmore gets the story.
In early 2014, Goddard announced it was putting in its own aquatic center and was scheduled to be completed by April of this year, but it has experienced some delays.
They've had several financing glitches, and right now the most recent update that I've been given is they've got a finance closing date of March 29th. And they will start construction very soon after that. So if we have good weather, they could be complete, within 9 months to a year of when they start moving dirt.
So we've kind of got these individual incremental things building up and culminating with the developer approaching us and saying, this is something that we're interested in. Are you interested? That resulted in a period of due diligence on the city's part. We didn't know exactly what we had, and that would all obviously lead to even further retail market, more due diligence that we would need to conduct. You've got a lot of ducks that you have to get lined up, and if anything changes, then you have to go back and reinitiate, the whole sequence of events, and that causes all kinds of delays, and that's exactly what's happened in this case.
The purpose of the new aquatic center is said to bring in new business for Goddard and help athletes train.
It is intended to bring people from the entire region, meaning Oklahoma, Texas, Missouri, Colorado, to compete in Olympic level swimming events, swimming and diving events. It will bring a lot of economic development. Obviously, all the existing businesses will really benefit from the increased traffic, people coming in from all over the region. We are hoping that will spur other businesses to come in town, because that's just good for the entire community.
The aquatic center brings in the possibility of a swim team to Eisenhower. Athletic Director Eric Armstrong weighs in on the topic.
At this point, there isn't a whole lot of plans in the works. I think there's a lot of bridges that we'll have to cross. One would be the financial piece of that. So until the pool is built, it's not something that we've got on our plate to throw into the budget.
We were told going into this that it's going to go one of two ways. The project will evolve and it will be either twice as difficult and take 3 times as long, or be 3 times as difficult and take twice as long as what we first imagined. So either way, it's going to be an arduous trek.
For ETV Magazine, I'm Jack Beardmore.
Up next is another story involving the Goddard area, this one affecting the entire Goddard USD 265 school district. A bond, if passed on April 17th, is set to improve certain aspects of each school in the district, with a heavy emphasis on safety. Many members of the school district are very excited for the possibility of this bond passing. Reporter Ethan Wild gets you the story.
On April 25th, an election for a $52 million bond for the Goddard Public School District will take place. This bond will focus on the safety and security for every student in the district.
Our community started this process about 6 months ago with the idea of making sure that every student had access to a tornado shelter in the best security possible. We discovered that 9 out of the 12 schools in our district don't have FEMA-rated storm shelters. So that kind of drove the list of projects that were developed over the course of time.
The bond's going to affect a lot of things, Obviously, one of the biggest parts of it is the storm shelter. So hopefully, in case of any major, tornado or any big storm that would come through, if we ever have to utilize it, hopefully everybody will be safe.
The main focus of this bond issue is to develop plans and facilities to better prepare students and staff to be safe.
This bond will add many things to the school districts, including storm shelters, parking lots, and many renovations.
The list includes, over 80 projects that equates to about $52 million. And of those projects, every school has a piece and will benefit from this bond being successful.
At Eisenhower High School, there are 3 things that we will benefit from the bond. One is we will get additional parking lot space. Right now, there's not enough space if we have big events, so that would be helpful. And we would get an update to our HVAC system, so the air conditioning and heating would actually be a lot better and would help the conditions here in the high school, but also actually end up saving us a lot of money as well. And then the third thing they're looking at doing is adding an extra entrance into the high school, so it's a little bit easier to get in and out of the school.
The bond looks to be an affordable way to make the learning experience safer and better for students.
I think the bond can only bring good things for the whole district. I think there should be more safety precautions because some of the schools don't really have enough to protect their students in case of something like a tornado.
One of the things for homeowners to understand is that this bond, if it passes, doesn't increase taxes a great deal. It's actually for a $100,000 home, it's about the equivalent of a large pizza a year to implement those things. And even with that, their taxes are still going to be lower than they were 4 years ago. And that's just based on some of the things the district's done, paying off other bonds and refinancing other bonds.
For ETV Magazine, I'm Ethan Wild.
That's all that we have for news for this episode. Now, be ready to be entertained. Austin Antoldi in the segment, Oh Yeah, is coming up right after this commercial break, so don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to Oh Yeah, the segment for everything entertaining here at Eisenhower. Today, we're going to change things up a little bit and go old school with our set. So let's get started. After the success of Shrek the Musical, the theater department is back with Spring One Acts. For those who don't know, One Acts are student-directed plays. That means students plan rehearsals, pick their actors, and bring the show to life. This year is a very special One Act directed by Lily McLeod with all faculty members. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss that one. Be sure to go out and support our EHS drama department. Now, I got the pleasure of taking our executive producer out to dinner. However, this wasn't any ordinary dinner, and it wasn't at an ordinary table. Brace yourselves. Coming up next is At the Table.
Welcome to the 7th edition of At the Table. We're joined by 2 of our closest friends once again.
Football athlete and local thumb, Cameron Bradley.
Howdy y'all, it's Cam Bam over here at Rubens. Really pumped to tackle this meal. Yeehaw!
And the CrossFit queen, Isabella Villegas.
Sup dogs, it's Bella, just dancing awkwardly here because I'm so excited for this Rubens.
That's right, we're going to have some Mexican food today, and we're going to enjoy ourselves. Well, I'm Austin.
And I'm Noah.
And this is At the Table.
Let's go.
Yeah. All right, we got our food here at Rubens. It looks really good. I just can't wait to dig in, so let's do it. we just had our food here, and it was good. We enjoyed it, but it's time to actually review and say what we actually think. Cameron, what do you think?
All right, so I had the Reuben special, and I honestly really liked it. It had like 2 over easy eggs over like 2 burritos with rice and beans, and just the combination of the two was really good. Like the flavor of the eggs with the burritos was just fantastic. So I would have to rate it a 28 out of 32 Steve Harveys.
I had the ground beef chimichanga and with rice and beans, and I'd say it was pretty good. It was a little dry at times, but overall I'd give it a 12 out of 14 Steve Harveys.
All right, I had the fried taco, and it was pretty good. You know, it's their special here. They said they're famous for it, and I understand why. When I took a bite out of it, it was so good. There's potatoes in it. You ever had potatoes in a taco? I haven't, but you know what? It was a plus. I'll give the fried tacos 10 out of 10. Steve Harvey's.
Now I had the chicken tacos with the side of fries, and it was an interesting dish. The fries are a little salty, but I was able to live with that. And the chicken on the taco is a little greasy, like you can squeeze the grease out. But you know what, I can live with that. 10 out of 11 Steve Harveys. Well, that's it for this edition of At the Table. Join us next time where we'll go on a glorious adventure. That's me, Noah, and you. Well, I'm Austin.
And I'm Noah.
And this is At the Table.
And now
we are no longer at the table.
Amazing. Not trying to toot my own horn, but that was one of the best At the Tables yet. I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm super pumped for prom. One of my favorite things is to see all the promposals. They are so funny and clever. Here are some of my favorites. This one right here features Becca Boston and Colin McHugh. So excited to ask you to prom that I actually peed my pants. Prom? They make good use of the letter P. I like that a lot. P is for prom. And then this one right here, Jason Bornowski and Veronica Embry. I need you to go to prom with me. I would be torn if you didn't. I like the use of the knee. Lots of silly string involved too. Get well soon. This one is so good. Colin Mackey and Cheyenne Alvagarg. Prom would be a home run with a sweetie like you. Let's hop to it. Baseball is just so neat. I love it. This one looks like it took a lot of time and effort, featuring Lexi Middendorp and Cooper Ryan. I like how they used the whole garage. Then finally we got Abby Kampke here with Carrie Potter. The girl asked the guy, when pigs fly? So, prom? Those pigs are about to fly to the moon something. I don't even know right now. Well, that about does it here for me in entertainment. Coming up next is Sam Diebler with Ike Sports.
Hey, remember the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle! Woo!
Welcome back to Ike Sports, your source for all things sports here at EHS. I'm your host, Sam Diebler. Now let's just jump right into it. Most students at Eisenhower know our registrar, Brandy Miller, working here to keep records of all the students at Eisenhower. But what some people don't know is that she also pulls double duty as a coach of a competitive cheer squad. It has also been recently announced that Miller will be the head coach next year for EHS. Ike Sports reporter Mason Madzi gets you the inside scoop.
Brandy Miller is the new registrar here at the school. Miller works at school during the day and coaches competitive cheer after school at Cheer Eclipse.
I am an all-star tumbling coach and coach competitive all-star kids, and I'm also the all-star tumbling director, so I create all of the tumbling programs.
Well, at cheer, she helps me with my tumbling skills and like anything stunt-wise that I might need like advice on or anything.
She helps us with technique, and she helps us like hit our stunts and work hard.
Kids here at EHS cheer for Eclipse and see Miller at school, then again at practice.
It doesn't bother me much. It's like fun hanging out with her regardless, either here or at practice.
It's fun seeing her like somewhere outside of cheer because she's just a good person. She always talks to like me about cheer, and she like gets me excited for everything.
It's a lot of fun. I do believe we have a good connection with the kiddos, and it makes my job a lot easier. And I just really like seeing the kids and what they do here and cheer.
Miller puts in many hours a week at school than at practice. Some of our athletes took a guess at how many hours Miller actually works a week.
Too much, honestly.
Oh my gosh, like what hours does she have free is the real question. I really don't know. I can't tell you.
Well, if you consider competitions, yeah, you're probably looking at 80 to 100 hours a week.
For Ike Sports, I'm Mason Madsey.
Nice job, Mason. Now on to the next story. Bryson and Zach Bush are two brothers who have gone through the Eisenhower basketball program, the latter of the two actually making the roster at Wichita State and playing there for the past 5 years. The two share many similarities and differences when it comes to playing on the court, but both have been very successful either way. Ike Sports reporter Trey Greening gets to the story on the Bush brothers.
Bryson Bush was a senior varsity starter for the basketball team and has shown his talents on the court. He seemed to pick up traits from his brother, WSU player Zach Bush.
You know, I think they're both very similar in the fact they're extremely coachable. They play very hard on the defensive end. Zach was an excellent shooter in high school, and Bryson is an excellent shooter also. And I think the main thing is that they're both extremely competitive and want to win.
You know, I wouldn't say that I've tried to teach him anything specific. You know, he's just naturally, he learned a lot of things, not just only from me, but through the teams I've been on. He's a smart kid and picked up a lot of little things.
They both work on their technical game, trying to improve themselves each day.
Zach's put me through a bunch of workouts and having practice, staying after sometimes and shooting. And like during the summer, we worked really hard on that.
College, we obviously work on skill development a lot, so just with our assistant coaches, there's drills all throughout the summer. Almost every day you're working on different things, you know, different ball handling drills for shooting, getting a lot of shots up from a lot of different spots, trying to put the time in. More time you put in, better shooter you're going to be.
Even though they share some traits, there's also a huge difference between the two.
He was a great mid-range shooter. He could drive to the cup.
I think the biggest difference is probably that Zach was quite a bit taller than Bryson. You know, Bryson's 6'1", and Zach was 6'6" in high school with a little bit more length.
Coach Blue has coached both of them, and they were both glad to have had him as a coach.
He's a great coach. He's helped me become the man I am today.
I admire that he's a very honest guy, very straightforward. He's not going to sugarcoat anything for you. You know, he's not going to say things in a better way just to make you feel a little bit better about yourself. He's going to tell you the truth and how it really is, and that's something that is hard for a lot of people to do, so I really respect that about him.
For Ike Sports, I am Trey Greening.
Next up, we bring you the first spring sports story of the year. Ever since Eisenhower's had a track team, they've always had Jeff Taylor as a long-distance coach. After a great career with the team, though, Coach Taylor decided to resign this year. Who is going to take his place? Let's just say that it is someone who is familiar with Mr. Taylor. Reporter Michael Greening gets the story.
Former head coach Jeff Taylor resigned from coaching track and left the distance coach spot open. The school brought on a former runner of his, Shelby Zogelman.
It's kind of weird because I ran for him when I was in high school, so it's a different kind of feeling to go from running for him and then replacing him. So it's kind of good for the runners who had him before because then they have a similar type of coaching style.
Oh, I think she'll do great. Mrs. Zogelman is somebody that I coached in high school, and I know her to be an intelligent, caring person, and I think she'll do a great job with the distance runners.
The distance runners seem to enjoy Ms. Zogelman's training style, and it doesn't look like there's much change to their practice.
Not much different. She said she would keep similar. She said she had his workouts, so pretty similar.
She's very enthusiastic. She ran for Coach Taylor whenever she went to high school in Goddard. She had record times, so, I mean, she knows what she's doing.
Ms. Zogelman wants to bring a fun atmosphere to the team, but also wants to be competitive as well.
I just hope that we do well. So I hope that I bring something a little young and fun. I know we try to have a lot of fun at practice, so I've really enjoyed getting to know them, so hopefully they've had fun too.
I think her first year might be a little bit more bumpy than her next year's, but I think it'll be fine.
For Ike Sports, I'm Michael Greening.
Looks like it's going to be a good year for those long-distance runners. To finish up this episode of Ike Sports, we're going to talk about what happened at state basketball last weekend for the Tigers. The Eisenhower basketball team took state by storm this year. Coming in as the #1 seed, they were favorites to win the whole shebang. But troubles in Topeka have plagued the Tigers in the past, not being able to win a single state game out of their 2 tries. But you know what they say, third time's a charm. The Tigers took on Bishop Carroll in the first round, and after a relatively slow start, the Tigers were able to pull out a close win over Carroll to get the team's first state tournament win in school history. The Tigers looked to make it to the state championship game as they led Shawnee Heights by 12 points into the fourth quarter of the semifinal game. But a comeback by Heights put the game into overtime where the Tigers lost on a last-second shot. The Tigers did leave Topeka with some hardware, though, as they beat Wichita Heights to take third place overall at state. An incredible run for this 2016-2017 Eisenhower basketball team ends with their first state tournament win in school history, as well as a third-place trophy. Congratulations on a fantastic season, Tigers. You earned it. Well, that just about wraps it up for this episode of Ike Sports and ETV Magazine. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at Ike Sports News for updates on everything sports here at EHS. For Ike Sports and ETV Magazine, I'm Sam Diebler, and we will see you next time.